If you've been looking for new keycaps for your mechanical keyboard, you've probably seen the term die sub thrown around, with claims of it being a cheaper alternative to double shot caps like GMK that still maintains a lot of the same durability. But what exactly is die sub? Banggood graciously sent me a set of these cherry profile PBT keycaps with Japanese sub-legends, so let's talk about how these are actually made. Die sub, which is short for die sublimation, is a process where a design is essentially printed on to the top of a keycap using heat and a special ink. Now, this isn't like the cheesy printing that you find on $10 boards, where the letters rub away and fade after just a few months of use. The word sublimation in die sublimation refers to the process of a solid turning straight into a gas without melting and becoming a liquid first. This is exactly what happens with dry ice when you take it out of the cooler. Once the die turns into a gas, it's able to penetrate into the plastic and change the color of the plastic on a molecular level, hence dyeing it. This means that the legends will still be visible even if the top layer is rubbed away. Also, since there's no solid ink left on the top of the cap, you won't feel the bump from the legends. Because there's high heat involved, die sublimation only works on PBT keycaps, since the other plastics like ABS would just melt. As a side note, this is also the same way a lot of fabrics and clothing are dyed anytime there's a fancy pattern or design. This is probably a lot to take in and maybe a little bit confusing, so let's look at some visuals. For cheap top printed caps, the ink is just left on top, and once it wears off, you're just left with a blank keycap. For double shot caps, multiple plastics in different colors are extruded, so the shape of the legend is still going to be there all the way through. So, no matter how much gets rubbed off, you'll still see the legends. Kinda like how all the pieces on a sushi roll look the same no matter where you cut it. For die sub caps, the ink is able to penetrate into the plastic, so the legends will still be visible even if you rub off some of the top layer. To make double shot caps, a unique mold has to be created for each key, so that can get very expensive. Die sub is a lot cheaper because you can just use the same keycap shape and print different legends on them. However, die sub does still come with some drawbacks. First, the design only penetrates partly into the cap, so if you're just built different and have actual sandpaper for fingers, it's technically possible to rub the legends away, whereas this would never happen with double shot caps. Also, because the ink turns into a gas and gas likes to spread out, the edges can be a bit fuzzy compared to the crispness that you'd find in double shot caps. Additionally, you can only dye the caps to a darker color than the cap already is. So black on white is a very easy task, but white on black is a little bit trickier. You have to start out with a white keycap and then dye the entire surface of the cap except for the legend itself. Well, I hope that cleared up some of the mystery behind die sub keycaps, and if you enjoyed this explanation, please consider subscribing and let me know if there's something else you'd like me to explain with the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.